Hey y'all, welcome back to Plant and Plate with Mr. Chris. Today we're making the creamiest mashed potatoes ever. We're going to put some butter, some heavy cream, a touch of garlic, a little bit of sour cream, and just take these things up to another level. These mashed potatoes are perfect for Sunday dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, or really just any time you want some comfort food. So let's make it happen, Captain. You need to get you a large pot for this recipe. And for mine, I used a mixture of Yukon Gold potatoes and Russet potatoes. I have about 3 pounds of potatoes, or close to 8 cups after you dice them up. The reason I used a mix of potatoes is because the Yukon Gold gives it that buttery cream, but the Russet potatoes help make your potatoes fluffy. So a mix, you kind of get the best of both worlds. Now before we got started, I took my potatoes, I peeled them, washed them off, and cut them into relatively even chunks. We're going to take and put our potatoes in our large pot. And we're going to start off with cold water. So I'm going to cover these with cold water just until they're just covered over the top of them. The reason you start with cold water is it helps keep the potatoes cooking evenly. You don't get any really hot mushy ones on the bottom. So I'm going to fill these up, we'll take them over to the stove and we'll pick up there. So we put the water over our potatoes, sit it on the stove, and what we want to do is turn it on high, get the water boiling. But as soon as we get to a good boil, we're going to turn the temperature down to a nice simmer and let them simmer in that for about 15 to 20 minutes. You want to cook them until they're fork tender. Now we're going to go ahead and season our water. We're going to put 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, kind of mix that into our water. And I have 4 cloves of garlic just peeled. We're going to throw that in the water and we're going to boil that with our potatoes. So I'm going to let this come to a boil, let it simmer. We'll be back when these are done. I'll see you in a minute. Cooked my potatoes till they were fork tender, took them, put them in a colander and let them drain. We're going to let them drain really well, and then I'll show you the secret to really good potatoes. But for now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to make our dairy. We want to warm up our cream and our butter just over some low heat. And I'll put all the ingredients in the description, but this is just a stick of butter. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to go ahead and get it started melting. We don't want our butter to brown. We're just wanting to warm it up so that it combines with the cream that we're going to put in, and so it mixes in with our potatoes and keeps them nice and warm instead of all of a sudden throwing a big old chunk of cold butter and cream into them. Okay, we got our butter melted. We're going to start adding our cream and kind of whisking the two together to get them to combine. We just want it warm and we want it combined. I'm going to sit here and stir on this mixture until I get something consistent, and I'll be back. Okay, so this is what kind of the consistency that you're wanting in your cream and butter mixture. Notice you don't see just any defined swirls of butter. It's all kind of the same color mixed together. So we're going to set that to the side, and then we're going to get our potatoes, and I'll show you the trick. Got our potatoes drained. I just put them right back in the pot. Now here's the trick I was talking about. Don't add anything to your pot. Put them on a low heat, and you want to let them sit here for about 2 to 3 minutes. What we're doing is we're trying to get some of that moisture that's left on them to evaporate out of those potatoes so that they're a little on the dry side. When we start putting that butter, cream, sour cream into it, they're going to kind of soak that up and make it a little easier to mix together. Also makes your potatoes fluffier. So we're going to let that sit for a couple minutes, then we'll put it together and I'll see you in a second. We got our potatoes on the stove on warm, got all that moisture out of it. Now it's time to turn them into our bowl, and we're going to begin to mash them and put all the goodness in it. So now you have a decision to make. That garlic that we put in here, if you want garlicky mashed potatoes, rather pronounce garlic to them, then leave what you boiled in the pot with them. If you don't want as strong of garlic, take 2 cloves out. But we're going to leave the rest in there and mash them up with the potatoes. My wife likes garlicky mashed potatoes, so hey, I'm leaving it all in there. But you do you. Now we got our potatoes turned into our bowl. Need to get you a potato masher or a ricer and just begin to mash them up. Again, leave your garlic in there depending on how much you want. I'm going to mash it with it. I'm going to work on turning this into similar pieces, get them all mashed up, and then we'll add the ingredients to it. I'll see y'all in just a second. Okay, that butter mixture that we warmed, it's time to start adding that in. So we're just going to pour that in. We're going to continue to mash our potatoes a little more until they start getting creamy. We got our milk, our cream, and butter, and we're just going to continue to mash this and incorporate it together with the potatoes. So we added our cream and our dairy to it, mashed it up until we get something smooth. Now it's time to start adding all the other goodness. This is a 1/4 cup of sour cream. I'm just going to turn that into the bowl. And this is a 1/4 cup of cream cheese that I've let sit at room temperature until it's softened a bit. So we're going to take and just begin to fold this into our potatoes till again it's smooth and consistent. So I'm going to work on that. I'll see y'all in just a second, and then we'll add the rest of the seasoning. Now it's time to add the rest of our seasoning. I've got 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt, and I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper. We're going to put that in. Then we're going to fold this. Now you can adjust the consistency of your mashed potatoes. If they're a little stiff, add a little more cream. This recipe is really versatile. If you like cheese in your mashed potatoes, throw some cheese in it. You want to make loaded mashed potatoes, you can take these and add some bacon and some green onions and cheese or whatever you want to do. This is just a really good base, and it's just good comfort food on its own. I'm going to continue to mix this together a little bit. I'll show you what we got in the end, and we'll plate this thing up and see how it tastes. I did add just maybe 2 tablespoons of cream to mine. They were a little stiff. Now we're going to take and just put about 2 tablespoons of chives on top of it. Just to add to the prettiness. And that's what you have when it's said and done. All right, we're gonna take a sample of this thing, see what we got here. Y'all, this is the way to make mashed potatoes. Heck with that box and stuff. Colonel Sanders ain't got nothing on this. These are Southern comfort food mashed potatoes. They're buttery, they're creamy. It's got just a little of that garlic in it. You want this at your Thanksgiving table or Sunday dinner, or just anytime you want to go, man, I want something good. Hey, thank y'all for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hey, hit that bell. We do a video every week. That way you can know, hey, Mr. Chris done put something else out there. Let me go see what that crazy guy's got up to. If you do decide to make this, I hope it brings your family together around the dinner table and helps you make a whole lot of memories. Thanks again. God bless, and we'll see you down the road.